In a time not too far past, in the land of the Yoruba, there was a village shadowed by a great mountain. The people of the village lived in constant fear because, at the top of this mountain, there dwelt a monstrous creature, a behemoth with breath of fire and a roar that could shake the very earth. Every full moon, it descended upon the village, taking livestock, spoiling crops, and sometimes, leaving the villagers mourning a loved one. Now, among these villagers was a man named Ogun, a warrior known not just for his strength but for his courage and wisdom. Ogun was a blacksmith, forging tools that helped the village thrive, and weapons that were considered the finest. His heart, however, was heavy with the burden of his people's sufferings. One day, as the villagers prepared for the impending full moon and the terror that followed, Ogun stood at the center of the village, his resolve clear in his eyes. He declared, "This moon will be different. I will climb the mountain and face this beast. We cannot cower in fear forever." The villagers pleaded with him, fearing for his life, but Ogun's mind was set. As the moon began to peak, lighting up the night sky, Ogun took up his sword, which glimmered with a light as bright as the stars themselves, and began his climb up the steep, rocky parts of the mountain. The journey was perilous. Thorns scratched at his skin, and the wind howled like the spirits of the night, trying to deter him. But Ogun pressed on, driven by the need to protect his people. As he neared the top, the ground trembled beneath his feet, and the roaring of the beast filled the air, a sound so fearsome it could freeze the blood of any lesser man. There, at the peak, stood the beast, its eyes like molten fire, its scales as hard as stones. The beast lunged at Ogun, who dodged with the agility of a cat. He swung his sword, striking the beast, but its scales were indeed like armor, and the blade barely made a mark. The beast retaliated with a fiery breath, which Ogun narrowly escaped. Realizing brute force alone would not defeat such a foe, Ogun retreated slightly, his mind racing as he observed the beast. He noticed a pattern, a moment when the beast seemed slightly slower, just after it released its fiery breath. Ogun also noticed the softer underbelly as the beast reared up to attack. With precision, Ogun waited for his moment. As the beast unleashed another fiery torrent, Ogun charged, rolling beneath the beast to avoid the flames. He thrust his sword upwards into its underbelly, the only vulnerable spot on the monstrous creature. The beast roared in pain and fury, thrashing wildly, but Ogun held on, his arm driving the sword deeper. Finally, with a loud, pain howl that echoed across the mountains, the beast collapsed, defeated. Ogun stood, weary but victorious, as the dawn broke, painting the sky with hues of gold and pink. He returned to the village, where the people, who had spent the night in terror, now rejoiced. They welcomed him with cheers and tears of joy, calling him hero, their savior. Ogun, however, knew that true heroism wasn't in the seeking of glory but in the peace and safety of his people. From that day onward, the villagers lived without fear of the mountain. They prospered, and tales of Ogun, the warrior who defeated the mountain beast, spread across the lands, inspiring all who heard it.